Sam and Margie are 60 years old and recently retired. They've got $1.5 million saved and they want to hire a financial advisor, but they don't know where to start. Stick around to see if Sam and Margie get a red, yellow, or green light for this retirement scenario. Welcome to Rise in Retirement,
where it is our goal to help you optimize and simplify your financial plan.
I'm Jet.
And I'm Taco.
We are financial advisors at W.A. Smith Financial, a firm entrusted by thousands across the U.S., and our goal is to help you focus more on your life, worry less about your money. It's why we do these videos. And we've got another case example today is Sam and Margie.
Yeah, Sam and Margie, 60, recently retired. They have about $1.5 million saved up. They're confident that it's enough to live off of and that things are looking good without having to run out of money or anything of that nature. But they are self-admittedly novices when it comes to their money and their finances. And so they've kind of made this decision. They want guidance.
Yep.
So we're going to talk through, kind of the best scenarios to make sure that you get the proper guidance.
Yeah, this one's a little tough because I know a lot of you watching this have your opinions of whether a financial advisor is worth it or not. Do you actually need one? Here we are, financial advisors, putting a case together in front of you, a hypothetical example of a Sam and Margie who say, no, we need a financial advisor. But the purpose of today's example is to explain why someone like Sam and Margie need a financial advisor. Aside from just the investment side. So let's jump into this case.
Yeah, and before we do, if you find information like this helpful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that we can connect and reach people just like you all over the country.
So Sam and Margie just retired. They're in really great shape. I mean, just throw it out there. They're doing phenomenal. They have $1.5 million saved. 50% of that's 401k accounts. 25% is Roth IRA, 25% is after tax, like joint brokerage account money. Sam's got a small pension that he can turn on right away, $1,500 a month that he's going to get from that. They're both planning to collect Social Security at age 62, so in a couple of years, they'll have access to that. That'll get them another $3,000 a month. Margie's company offers retiree health care that Sam can also go on, so they've got the pre-65 health care scenario figured out. They've got 3 kids. They're all doing really well. Their kids aren't expecting legacy or help. They're not in mom and dad's pocket anymore. Sam and Margie would like to give a little bit of a legacy if they can, but it's not a top priority. They know they don't have to do that. Debts are paid. They've got a small lake house, their primary residence, and the lake house mortgage is also paid off. So again, I mean, their scenario is really good. $6,500 a month is what they need for income. They have the majority of that coming in before they even take a single penny from the $1.5 million that they have saved. But even amongst all that positivity, and they know that they're in a good position, they have still made the decision that they will not do this without the help of someone that gives them professional guidance, a financial advisor, a financial planner. And I want to start by saying, why? Why do you see that? Like, what are we talking about here with that?
Well, I think they've put in a lot of hard work. So Sam and Margie are people who've accumulated this $1.5 million by hard work and by sacrifice to get to where they're at. And so they value where they're at and they don't want to make a mistake. Mm-hmm. And so they're at this stage where they are confident, but they also fear a mistake that they just maybe aren't prepared for, that comes out of nowhere, that they just don't have some sort of guidance that could derail them. So it's plain and simple. It's that they want to focus more on their life and spend time with their kids, grandkids, hobbies, sit at the lake house and not have to worry about their finances at all.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things going on here. For people like Sam and Margie, while they probably could do this on their own, the fact of the matter is they don't want to. Yeah. It's not how they want to spend their time. The second piece to this is the way they've accumulated their assets. As we said, 1.5 million, 50% of that's in the 401k. The other 50% of it's outside of the 401k. That's, they invested a little bit of money with the bank guy who they took advice from. They're taking advice from the representative within the 401k plan. They've met a broker who they've invested a little bit of money with, and they have piecemealed this portfolio together, and they know that they want cohesiveness. They want to consolidate. And they feel that the best way to do that is by finding a financial advisor, a planner, someone that they can trust that can help them put all these pieces together in a singular puzzle.
Yeah. And I think some of that becomes a little overwhelming when you have statements coming from here, getting a random call from a bank person here, stockbroker. They've almost become too trustworthy to many people and just really been sold products along the way versus getting a cohesive plan that brings everything together and allows them to have that financial peace of mind.
Do you think that there can become some problem areas with altering or advice that goes against, if they got multiple people telling them what to do and they're relying on advice from too many sources? Do you ever see, well, this guy's telling me to do this, but that kind of conflicts with what this person over here is doing, and what kind of problems does that cause?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I think there's, risk that doesn't get disclosed properly, potentially by one broker versus the other, which could lead to a potential loss in an investment that they weren't aware of coming. There could be tax situations that come up where one advisor's saying, "Oh yeah, pull that 50% out of the 401k and let's go do something else with it." And so all of a sudden you make this giant tax consequence. So yeah, I think just having too many people telling you a bunch of different things. And so there's questions we have to ask to make sure that you have the proper person.
Yeah.
That's providing you this guidance, right?
Yeah. So we want to give you, you're probably thinking, well, of course it's a green light. Before we give you our final verdict, what we want you to do, click on the link in the description below, go to riseandretirement.com. A lot of great resources there. We've got free guides. There's a guide there that's called How to Hire the Right Financial Advisor. Excellent start. Goes perfect with today's scenario. If you want to talk to us about your scenario, schedule a retirement tune-up. The easiest thing for you to do is to join a Send 360 Insider.
Yeah, it's a video series, email from our CEO every Thursday, 9 a.m., delivered to your inbox. And it's just packed with valuable retirement tips, situations, scenarios when it comes to retirement planning at the end of the day.
So all that's available in the link in the description below, riseandretirement.com. So here's the verdict. Yes, you were right. This is a green light, but we're going to give you as long as, because remember, Sam and Margie, they want a financial advisor. They have to, so they're green light as long as they find the right person. And we're going to identify in the closing here, there are 3 questions that anyone, if they're searching for someone in this type of a capacity, what should they be asking? What are those questions?
Yeah. So number 1 is, are you a fiduciary? You want to make sure that you're working with an advisor or a planner who has your interests above theirs.
Yep.
Bottom line.
Number 2, how do you get paid? You want somebody that is fully transparent on this. And I see some of the comments below, advisors are expensive and they're not worth their value. In some cases, that is absolutely true, especially when you don't know exactly what you are paying, how they get paid, what's in it for them. Is there a conflict of interest? And then there's number 3.
And it ties perfectly with this is, I look at a fee. So how you are paid, a fee is what you pay, value is what you get. So question number 3 is, aside from investment advice, what else are you going to do for me and my family? I think that's another important thing is that, Sam and Margie have 3 kids that they want to make sure that they're well taken care of. The kids are in good shape, but there's going to be grandkids down the road. Legacy was somewhat important to them if there's money left over, which I think in their case, it's kind of one of those inevitable, there is going to be money left behind. So how do we make sure that the family is also going to be taken care of? Because again, you said commenters, are going to say, well, gosh, don't pay an advisor. Just put your money in a Vanguard low cost index fund. That's just one little small component of investment management. And yes, there are many advisors who that's all they do is just investment advice, period. They, you take a risk profile and they take Sam and Margie's money and throw it in that risk profile. Does Sam and Margie need to do that and pay a fee? Probably not.
I agree.
Do they need more comprehensive and cohesive advice when it comes to, 50% of their money is in pre-tax? How can we optimize, and become a little more efficient from a tax standpoint with those dollars? They they have retiree health care covered until 65, but then they're going to have to go on Medicare? Do they have somebody guiding them to make sure they get the proper Medicare plan? Again, legacy being important to them. Can we be more efficient in how this money is left behind to their kids, their grandkids, kind of build that legacy at the end of the day? So that's a really important one, is outside of investment advice, what else are you going to do for me and my family?
3 questions you got to ask. A couple of quick takeaways. Mine is this, and you mentioned this before. People like Sam and Margie, I'm going to encourage you, trust a little bit less. And that might sound counterintuitive, but when you are out there interviewing advisors for this job, you want to make sure that you find the right fit for you. And there's a lot of things that go into that, but don't have that blind trust and faith. You might like them. They still might not do everything that you need them to do. So trust a little bit less, ask more questions, interview a couple of people. That's my takeaway.
Yeah. And my takeaway is that for many people who are in a great situation like Sam and Margie, yes, they can absolutely do the investment side by themselves, like I mentioned. But for many people, just like Sam and Margie, they don't want to worry about any of it. They want a comprehensive plan. So that's okay. And they've made a really great decision that we need somebody in our corner to help us. And now it's just about making sure that you're asking the right questions and that you're working with the right person to get you through retirement.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below, and tell us about your scenario. Tell us what you thought about Sam and Margie's scenario. We would love to get back to you there. That's all the time we have for today. We will see you next week right here on Rise in Retirement.